Subject concrete structures, chapter design of columns, topic various theories in design of columns. Now students, now whatever we have studied till now, we studied about the basic concepts, what a slab is, difference between pedestal and slab, pedestal and columns, right? What columns are, different types of columns, okay? Now in this topic, this is also very important topic because what I feel, whatever I will be teaching you here, right, as per the IS recommendations also, one question is for sure because whatever I will be teaching you in this video, one question was asked in 2018, one was 16 and one was 19 also, right? So you can see that regularly questions have been asked from this topic. In 2020 there was no question from this topic, but in earlier GATE examination there were frequently questions being asked from this topic, right? So this topic is important. So various theories in design of columns. Now students who think that they have studied or they have already studied columns in strength of materials as per the Euler's theory and as per the Rankine theory, that is more than enough. That is incorrect, totally incorrect, because we are designing columns, the RCC columns. Clear? That was strength of material. This is RCC, right? So in RCC, the Bible is IS 456 2000. Clear? So while designing columns, we have three theories. So first theory is the Euler's theory, which you must have already studied in strength of materials, right? Euler's theory. Okay. Second theory is Rankine's theory. Rankine's theory. Clear? And the third is IS 456. IS 456 2000. Now a lot of students, they do mistake is that they consider Euler's theory as the IS theory. No, IS has given it certain recommendations which will be using in designing of columns. Now what is Euler's theory? I'm not going in detail of that. You must be knowing that the Euler's theory is determined. For example, there is a column, right? It is hinged from both the ends. You apply some load, there will be some deflection, and you know that this is the formula E into I into d square y upon dx square is equals to minus mx, and from you get some values. So what the value you get the load actually equal to P, the ultimate load, the crushing load, it actually equal to pi square EI divided by L square, where L is actually the effective length, right? That is the L effective square. Let me write it, L effective square. Clear? Okay. Now the thing is that Euler gave us certain, you can say, boundary conditions on which if we apply, you can say, the boundary conditions, we will get different values of L effective. So what the boundary conditions were? So the boundary conditions were, first boundary condition was both the ends hinged, right? Both ends hinged. A lot of their students, they do mistakes, right? So whatever the effective length we will be getting from the boundary conditions, I am actually I am doing a recap of whatever you have studied in strength of materials, right? So whatever the boundary conditions we will be getting, let's see the boundary conditions. If both the ends are hinged, this is the unsupported length L naught. I told you the difference between unsupported length and the unsupported length and the supported length, right? Or the clear span, right? Clear length, okay? Effective span. So if both ends are hinged, then the L effective is actually equal to L naught. Clear? Okay. Now second case is the values which are getting for the L effective in case of Euler's theory. These are the theoretical values. The IS 456 says that whatever the values we are getting from the Euler's theory, these are the theoretical values. Theoretical values. So I will be telling you what students, they are generally doing the mistake. For example, in examination, this question has been asked that the effective length if both the ends are hinged as per IS 456 2000. So sometimes what the students do they confuse the IS 456 2000 recommendation, the theoretical value, with the theoretical values, right? These are actually the actual values, right? Or you can say these are the recommended values, right? The recommended values which we get from the IS 456, right? But the Euler's theory gives us theoretical values. Clear? Now both ends are hinged. The second is one end is hinged and another one is fixed. If this is the case, then L effective, it is actually equal to L divided by root 2 or you can say 0.707 L naught, right? This is your L naught, that is the unsupported length. Effective length comes out to be this. What is the concept of effective length? So if you apply some load, the deflection will be like this. So you can see that this is the effective length, right? If you applied some load here, the deflection will be like this because it is fixed from here. So deflection will be like this. Obviously the distance is small as compared to L naught. So it is 0.707. Clear? Now third is, if both the ends are fixed, if both the ends are fixed, the deflection would be like this. So it is very small. How much it is? Euler's theory says that in this case, the L effective is actually equal to 0.5 of L naught. This is your L naught, right? From here to here, you have your L naught. Clear? The fourth case is, which has been asked many times, that the fourth case is if one end is fixed and another one is free. So if you see, the deflection would be something like this. So this is L naught and plus L naught, 2 L naught, right? So L effective will be equal to 2 L naught. Okay, this is, I am repeating whatever you have studied in strength of materials. Why I am repeating? Because sometimes students confuse the strength of material effective length concept with the IS 456 effective length concept. The effective lengths which you are getting from the Euler's theory are actually the theoretical values. But the effective lengths which you will be getting from the, you can say the IS 456, they are the recommended values, right? So in IS 4, this is okay. Now let me rub it. Let me rub it and tell you about the recommended values, right? Okay. So don't confuse your recommended values with the theoretical values. Do not confuse. Okay. Now you will see the difference. Now in IS 456 on page 94, a table has been drawn on page 94 in IS 456. What does it? Page 94, right? Page 94 IS 456. It says that now if both the ends are hinged, you have the same values. That is, L effective will be equal to L naught. Same values. No change. Clear? Second, the first case. The second case is if your one end is hinged and one end is fixed. This is your L naught. So in case of our, you can say, the Euler's theory, what we were getting L upon root 2, which is 0.707. But IS 456 says that the recommended value in this case would be, L effective would be 0.8 L naught. 0.8 L naught, right? So don't confuse, because in Euler's theory you have 0.707 L naught or L upon root 2. L naught upon root 2. I have seen many students making this mistake. What the thing is that, suppose a question has been asked that the effective length as per IS 456 2000, if one end is fixed and other is hinged, is. So in example, in options, you will also be given 0.707, you will also be given 0.8 and some other values. I have seen many students that are taking this option, because as per the strength of materials, whatever you have studied, this is correct. But it is written in question IS 456 2000. So what would be correct? Recommendation, it would be, the recommended value would be 0.8 L naught and not your 0.707, because it is a theoretical value. It is a recommended value as per the IS 456, right? So I have seen many students, they are doing the mistake. Okay, so let me rub it. Now third case would be if both the ends are fixed, right? So if both the ends are fixed, it would have same value. See, both ends fixed. Both ends fixed. Let us say this is also fixed and this is also fixed, right? So if both the ends are fixed, so what you will be getting? So in case of your, you can say, in case of your theoretical values, you were getting 0.5, right? But in case of the IS 456, you will be getting 0.65, not 0.5. Clear? So this is your L naught. In case of Euler's theory, you are getting 0.5. But in case of your IS 456 recommendations, the recommended value L effective, it is actually equal to 0.65 L naught. Only these two values change, otherwise almost same. Clear? Now next case is D case. The same, that one end is fixed and the one is free. So at that time L effective will be equal to same, it will be 2L naught. And one more case in which the students actually they confuse that what is that value, because a lot of students they remember these 4 cases, but one case is there in which the Euler's theory is silent, but IS code has given the recommendation. That case is, now let me write the E case. The E case is your one end is fixed, clear? Another end is also fixed. This is also fixed, but it can rotate. It means that if you apply some load, it will rotate like this. Like this. It is here. It can rotate like this. So if you see the Euler's theory is silent on this topic. Euler's theory does not say anything. But if you go to the IS code recommendation, the recommended value for L effective length, it is actually equal to 1.3 L naught. This is important because this has not been asked till now. But a lot of students they surely do mistake, because either they may not be knowing what this case is, or they will just leave this question. Clear? So I hope that you have understood that as per the Euler's theory, what are the recommendations. But obviously Euler's theory has some limitations. The limitations were when the Euler theory was derived, you can say the eccentric loading was not taken into consideration that much, right? So if eccentric loading is not taken into consideration that much, obviously if eccentric loading is there, it is a long column, there can be buckling also, right? So you can say that the Euler's theory is basically for the short columns only, right? But if you have long columns, there can be buckling also, right? If there is buckling, so what type of things would be there? Now let me tell you, the Rankine theory comes into picture. The Rankine's theory, it says that, because in Rankine's theory the buckling load is also taken into consideration. So the Rankine's theory, it says that, let me write it here. The Rankine's theory, it says that 1 upon P critical load is the critical load on which the beam will fail. It will be equal to 1 upon P crushing, right, plus 1 upon P, the load which is being applied, right? The crushing load, right? The buckling load, right? So 1 upon PC is the critical load. PCR is the crushing load, and PB is the buckling load. PB is the buckling load, right? So if all the 3 loads are given, then we have to apply the Rankine's theory. In ESE 2019, this question came direct. That formula, this question, ESE 2019. Clear? So now, but what we will be doing is that we will be designing the columns as per the IS 456 recommendations. So I have already told you the recommended values given by IS 456. I have already told you, right? Those values are very, very, very important, right? Because directly or indirectly questions are asked many times in examinations from the recommended values of L effective, right? Effective length of the column. Clear? Right. Now we will design columns based on the IS 456 recommendations. Okay. So I hope that you have understood this topic. Now let's move to the next topic and design a column as per the IS 456 recommendations. Thank you.